Hi, guys. Hi, Long Island Pickleball players. I am excited to let you know we're coming live soon. We're at Topspin in Happauge, and we have the owners of Topspin with us that are going to tell us all the things that make Topspin unique, why they got started in owning a business, why they got started doing a pickleball club, um, how they got behind the scenes to do these things, how to get them done. Frank Melillo, Coach Frank from Long Island Pickleball Pros. Remember, Mother's Day is coming up. Check out my website, www.longislandpickleballpros, and look for a great gift for your mom. We also have my co-host, Sue Cornwall.
Hey all, welcome to another one of our fabulous podcasts. I want to welcome you to Topspin in Happauge. This is my home facility where I do my lessons, our leagues. I play here on a regular basis. I want to introduce you to two sisters, Debbie and Donna. They own this women's facility that I fully support. So welcome, Donna and Debbie.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Topspin.
Hi, I'm Debbie.
I'm Donna.
Great. And Evan?
Hi, my name is Evan. I'm the head of pickleball operations at Topspin as well as the pro. I mean, Sue's the lead, but I'm also kind of here, We kind of work together.
The first question we have is, what made you want to start a pickleball business specifically to open up a club?
About 3 years ago, me and my husband started playing, and we just saw this was a growing sport. It was a great opportunity to start an indoor facility because there was really nothing on Long Island. And then I partnered with my sister, and here we are.
Now, when you first played pickleball, what made you think, you know what, this would be a great business? What was the vision there? What was it that took you from playing pickleball with maybe you and your husband to this fabulous facility in Happauge called Top?
Well, I'm a very social person, and I love to talk to a lot of people. And just hearing the vibe within the community, everywhere we went, there was so many people that just started, and it's like an addicting sport. So we thought, yeah, it's nice in the summer, but you know what? Let's open an indoor facility because there was really nothing on Long Island besides a few clubs. And this is where we are today.
What did you find was the biggest challenge in opening up the club when you first started? Shoveling the ground, although this was already existing. What did you find was one of the biggest challenges that made you think, oh my God, can I ever get this done?
I think the biggest challenge I found was finding the location. To me, everything is about location. Because you could be in the, you could have a pickleball facility, but if it's too far or if it's not easy to get to, not a lot of people want to go. That was the biggest challenge, is finding the place. 100%.
So now when you took it over, what separates your club? What made you think, I'm going to make my club to be the top club? What do you think was what was missing with the other clubs, or what you think was going to make your club more unique than other clubs? Because there's a lot of clubs that are being built on Long Island or that are already existing.
I feel we focus on our customers. It's not just about pickleball and it's a business. We wanted our customers to feel welcome when they got here. So to me, customer service was our #1 priority. We wanted to make sure our pricing, all our open plays, our leagues, all these fun things that we can do for our customers is what we focused on.
Great.
So, Debbie, can you tell us a little bit about what your leagues are like, what your social play is like? What do you do? Because I know your leagues are very successful, very well run. Your social play, I love it. I get the feedback from your members that love it. What is it that you do to keep that high level of quality in your leagues and your open plays?
Well, we really manage our social plays. So we put a lot of them out there. So we give a lot of different choices. We don't just do one or two. We do all different levels. And if we feel that some people do not belong in an open play, we'll send a nice email to, just deter them from joining that league, that open play, and joining a different one, maybe a little lower, a little higher. but we kind of manage our open plays. We watch that a lot. To make sure that's
So what have you done to include the community? What kind of community projects have you done? What kind of outreach? And more importantly, how about embracing the kids and the children to come and play pickleball?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
Could you repeat what you said?
Can you just repeat that? I didn't hear you.
Great. Let's talk about the growth of pickleball. So you started this club. You're happy. How is the growth going to happen with your club? Where do you see you're going to take this to the next level?
I'm sorry, especially over the summer. I know you have some really good projects planned.
So I feel over the summer, we just want to have all different types of events that people can't do outside. Outside, everybody can just play basic pickleball. We want to do all fun, exciting events. We want to, we want to do like a Friday night social hour with the DJ and, just make it fun for people that they want to come here. Like it's a night out and we just want to we want to do a bunch of leagues. We just want to do a bunch of different events for our players.
The challenges are, talk a little bit about playing outdoor as opposed to playing indoor. I know I love to play outdoor in the summer. I love the sunshine. I love the hot weather, but I'm finding to be a little bit more challenging as time goes by to play outside. What's your take on that?
I mean, I can take this one because as someone, who's been, playing for a few years, has done indoors and outdoors. This is kind of how I explain it to people. For outdoors, you don't know the weather, right? Every day is very conditional, right? Is it going to be too hot? Is it going to be too cold? Is it going to be windy? Is it going to be rainy? Right? Those are all factors that I really don't want to deal with when I'm playing pickleball, right? I guess I'm a little spoiled. I like my indoor conditions. I like knowing that I'm going to have controlled temperature. I like knowing what the light's going to be like. The courts outside can be very hit or miss, right? You have some parks that I've been to where you have cracks in the court or the ball doesn't bounce certain ways, right? An indoor facility, you're going to get more consistency there. Another thing is the people, right? Sometimes you can get a court and it's just the four of you and your friends, and that's great. Sometimes you go to a park, you play 3 games in 2 hours, right? You play 1 game, all of you go sit, you go put your paddle on a rack, you wait 40 minutes, you come back, you do another game. That game might not even be good, right? There's all these different levels too, right? When I'm here, I can book a court with my friends. I can do an open play, like Debbie was saying. We can have one that's all my same level. So I know I'm going to play with people who are competitive with me, right? As a higher level player, right? I played with people outside who it was their first game playing pickleball, right? For me, that's almost like I just wasted 45 minutes trying to teach someone to play pickleball for free. I don't really want to do that. I want to have good competitive games. So for me, the indoor experience is just, there's nothing beat it, right? Outside, sure, you get sunlight and sure it's free, but it doesn't really give you what you want as a player.
So what do you find is increasing the demand for pickleball? What do you think is probably the biggest factor on why more people want to play pickleball?
I can't hear you.
So
sorry, I can't hear you.
The reason I think pickleball has gotten popular, and I think this will kind of answer a lot of our questions, it's the people, right? It's the social aspect of the game that no other sport really has. Right, you're always with one person, so you always, and we're on such a small court, so there's always camaraderie. There's always building that relationships. And then when you do an open play, right, you're playing with the same kind of group of people over and over. And I think people just really bond that way. And even starts from the first time beginner, right? I know, right? Sue does a lot of clinics, right? I do a lot of lessons, right? People who meet in those first beginner lessons, a lot of them end up just growing and continuing to play together. And then maybe one of them branches out and then they find people. And it's such a great community in pickleball, right? There are so many great people. And I think that's what makes Topspin amazing as well, is like our customers are awesome. Our players are wonderful people.
They're amazing.
Right.
They're
Everyone
amazing.
who comes in is super kind, super smiley, like always gets along. We've had almost no issues in terms of like player interaction, which is I think also why people love coming here, because they know they're going to get a positive experience.
Okay, so can you talk about there's something that's new that I'm finding, these new leagues that are coming out, the inter-club leagues, which I think is such a great idea. People tend to get stuck in their certain facilities that they go to. But now I understand that you're at least 2 that I know of inter-club leagues. organized interclub leagues.
I can't hear that. The Interclub League, what we're doing now? So right now we're running an interclub league with other facilities. So we have a team that represents Topspin, and we've been going to all other clubs on Long Island right now, which is excellent. It's a lot of good feedback. And in the fall, we're going to continue this, and hopefully we expand it with more of Long Island clubs and grow that as well.
And I got to give Debbie a lot of credit because she actually was thinking about this months ago, way before the league even started. She reached out to me in like December and was like, I want to do this league. And we looked it up and I was like, it's not even in New York. It was in New Jersey. It was in Pennsylvania. It was in all these like, mid-Atlantic states. And then all of a sudden she put in the work and she got it on Long Island. So now, we're one of 7 different clubs that are doing it. And I'm sure in the fall, we're going to get even more, right? So it's kind of one of those things where we have our own thing, but we're also able to build as a Long Island community, which is, super valuable as well.
I was in an interclub league last summer. You're doing it again this summer. And I met other women from other clubs that I would never have met. And we still play together. We just found we had so much fun together. We were the same level. We have met up once a month or so for the past year. It was really enjoyable meeting other people from different places.
We're doing that as well with Pop-Up Pickleball. If anybody heard of Pop-Up Pickleball, we're doing an all women's league.
Yeah.
And that's more Nassau County now. So that's also the same motto, but now it's all with Nassau and it's only women only.
Yeah.
So it's funny you mention that because I do leagues on my level at Rockville Center. I also do it now at Sports Set. I put out an all women's league on Wednesday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And I only have 2 courts. So that's full. I have all women there playing pretty much beginner and advanced beginners, but that's full because I think there's that demand for that certain subset of people that, I don't want to play with just anybody. I want to play with people that I know that I can feel comfortable with, and that's women. Just like men like to only play with men. It's a good way to start. In my business, I find most of my people, like 80% are women, 20% are men. And there's a reason for that, because I think they want to play together, but they want to do something that they can enjoy. They're very comfortable starting something new that they don't know anything about. So it's a real good sport for them to get involved in. And it's very social because they said, I want to meet other friends. Now, in terms of starting up the leagues, how do you find the challenge of trying to bring in new members, and how are you addressing new members coming into your club? What are some of the activities that you have for that?
So we actually have a bunch of different things that are going. We're actually starting something. So we're going to give you a sneak peek because this is going to be coming out tomorrow. So we're going to be coming up with a player promoter program. And what that is going to do is we're going to reward the people who like to organize, who like to set up things. So kind of be a deal, right? If you bring in people, your people, whether you play somewhere else or maybe you have family who you want to play, if you bring them in, we're going to reward you with a type of credit. And if those people become members as well, they're going to be getting credit on top of that. So it's going to become hopefully this kind of feedback loop, right? Where if you bring someone in, you get credit, and then your friend who you brought in kind of notice that like, oh, I want to bring in my friends too. So it kind of keeps building on top of each other. And there's already that aspect of people knowing each other, right? We're bringing in friends of friends, family of people, right? So they're all going to come in with a good relationship. So, right, one couple meets another couple, and then all of a sudden they're playing as a group of 4, right? They meet 2 more couples. Now they're booking a seasonal 2 courts for 16 weeks. And right, that's kind of how the pickleball community grows. Whether you do it as an individual, like some of us have, or you do it as a couple, right? Where Debbie and Rich were kind of doing it together as a couple, right? And you kind of you build from there. So whether you do it by yourself, like you said, with like Frank, you were saying, right? If you're kind of a lone wolf, which a lot of guys are, if you're women who want to do it together, or you're vice versa, it doesn't really matter. You'll find your people and you'll continue to grow whichever way you want to.
So how about addressing now the biggest growth we think is going to come from the kids from the ages of 7 to 17. What are you doing in your club to address that growth? Do you have camps going? Do you have leagues going? How are you working with that?
Yeah, that's going to be coming out. We're going to do camps for children like 8 through 12 because you can't do 8 through 17 because it's a big age difference. And then from like 13 through 17, we want to start doing leagues. We want to have these kids try out. We want to do like twice a week, a league for maybe 8 weeks and have them, grow together and it'll be a tryout. It's not like, oh, you just sign up and you get on a team. It's going to depend on their level. So like an A league, a B league, a C league. And we're going to take that. We're going to grow that to the next level for these kids because my daughter, she works in Comac. She's a phys ed teacher. And I just know it's a big market for these children. And we just don't know how to go after them, but we're learning. We're gonna get it. We're gonna figure it out, and we're gonna have all these kids here. We're gonna
Evan,
grow
can
them.
Oh, sorry. Thanks, Debbie. Evan, can you talk to us about, I really admire some of the specialized clinics that you do. My clinics tend to be a little bit more broad, beginner clinic, intermediate. Talk about like some of those really specialized clinics that I think are such great ideas.
Okay, so one of the biggest thing that I came here when I wanted to do, right, when I've done clinics elsewhere, it was kind of along with you line. It was kind of just a general level, right? They came in week after week and you kind of built around that. But there are some people, especially when you get to the intermediate and above, where they become a little more self-aware on what they want to work on, right? It's not just, I want to get better. It's, I want to work on resets, or my backhand's not good. And they're usually similar skill sets that people tend to struggle with at certain levels. So I've tried to create clinics to match those needs of players. And I also know from my own personal experience and from watching people play, right? Even as they can tell you, right? I spent so many hours here when I wasn't working, just watching, just talking to people and just getting a feel of what our pickleball community is in terms of player level and player development. So I kind of talk to people. I'll watch them and I'll be like, hey, this is something you need to work on, right? Just I would say we were talking about me a little bit more, but that's my most unique skill in pickleball as a coach is I can watch someone play for 35 seconds and know what they should be working on. I can tell within 1 or 2 points. So just being able to find things that work for people, right? And then some people come to me and they'll be like, I want to work on this. I'm like, all right, great. I'm going to set up a clinic, right? So it doesn't have to be the 2 of you. Let's see. I'm sure we can find 3 or 4 more people who want to work on that same exact thing. And then I keep them generally short term because I don't want to overwhelm players. I want to give them the skill they want to work on and then turn it into playing, right? When they go into their games, being able to utilize that skill and replicate it from practice. And then they feel confident and comfortable using it whenever they play.
Okay, Evan, those are such great ideas. I love them all. Thanks. I can't let a podcast go by without asking a pro, what do you think holds back beginners the most? If you could give one piece of advice to beginners and talk, what would the one piece of advice that beginners must do right out of the gate? And then just talk a little bit, expand on that a little bit, what holds beginners back?
Oh, easy. So when I teach beginners, the first 2 things I teach are how to serve and stay and how to return and run, right? And those are 2 valuable skills. I say if you do those 2 things correctly, your game will skyrocket to a level where you're so much more confident because you will learn from playing how to hit a ball. You will learn how to run to a ball. You will learn where the ball is going to bounce, how high it's going to bounce. But if you're someone, the biggest stagnation of players from beginner, advanced beginner, even with intermediate players, it's players who are reticent to be at the kitchen. And the more comfortable you get, and the sooner you get to the kitchen a lot, the better player you're going to be because you're going to start developing skills without even thinking about it. You're going to get comfortable with the hand speed. You're going to get comfortable with balls coming at your feet, overheads in the air. You'll develop those skills. And if it's something you struggle with, then you come to a coach, you come to me or you or one of our other wonderful coaches and say, hey, I'm struggling with this. Can we work on it? And then it feeds into our jobs of making better players on the court and feeling more confident when they're playing.
So I have a question for Deb, right? So
Yes.
what do you see is going to happen in the next 3 to 5 years with pickleball? What's your vision like? What do you think is going to happen? What do you like to see happen?
I think pickleball in the next 3 to 5 years it's going to become a school sport.
Mhm.
I think it's going to become a school sport.
Yeah.
I do.
Absolutely.
I think it's going to be
Maybe even the Olympics.
section 13 or section 11. I think it's going to be a section 11. sport.
You're asking the wrong person. I don't know. I don't do it in the high school athletics.
I do. I think it's going to be, just how you have lacrosse and you have soccer and you have volleyball. I do believe that pickleball is going to get into that mix.
Yeah, and going
100%.
back onto what you were talking about before, when Frank, you were bringing up the idea of working with kids, and Debbie was saying developing these leagues. I think the leagues can almost develop into a feeder system for these school teams because these kids are going to be able to have competition already, right? Work on their skills. So when a school develops a varsity pickleball team, right, you're going to have players who already know how to play and have experience playing at a competitive level, which is only going to make it come off even faster.
So what is the amenities that you have currently at Topspin that's going to address those needs? I see lovely paddles behind you, but what else do you have? I mean, do you have, what are your locker rooms like? How are your courts set up? Give us a little description on that.
The setup of the place and how that helps us.
Oh, how our place is set up. We have a lot of room in between our courts.
And I wanted you to introduce your pro shop
Yes.
because I am a huge
Here, let's take a little
fan of
tour.
the two brands that you carry, and all the other accessories.
All right, so our main paddle that we sell here, we are a EULA sponsored facility. So we have our EULA paddles here. Here are the Gen 5 paddles. Here are our EULA balls, which we use for a lot of our events as well. I know people like Franklin's. The EULAs are almost exactly the same. So no harm, no foul there. The other paddle that we will, actually, I'll go to the other side where we have our Gen 4 EULA. So if you like the previous generation ones, we got those, all different brands.
Good.
Come back to the middle. We have, I know Sue's favorite paddle, the Holbrooks, which is our secondary paddle brand. We got a bunch of different ones there, different colors. We have the new Fuse, which is the foam core. So if you're interested in the newer technologies, we have something like that for you. Other than that, we got backpacks, we got t-shirts, we got hats, water bottles, sweatshirts, towels, so on and so forth. So we got a lot of other materials that, you know, if you want something, if you want merchandise to represent, or if you want a paddle, right? If you're using a paddle that was made in 2020 and you need something new, we got it for you.
So it's great to see that you have a full locker room as well. You have lockers, you have showers, full locker room. That's great to see.
Yeah.
So quick question for you. What do you find is the favorite part about what you do, Deb?
Favorite part about being
The
here.
favorite part of what I do. I just think I love the customers. I am very customer. I don't know. I just love all my customers. I really do. I listen to everybody, but they ask for things, and I try to work with everybody. I'm not just, this is how it is, and I work with everybody. Whatever, whatever they ask for, I try to, please everybody.
Very true. I can attest to that 100%.
So Evan, what's your favorite part about pickleball and being here?
Same thing. It's the people. That's what the sport's all about. Like I said earlier, right? I wouldn't have gotten into the sport if it wasn't for the community itself. I did my first open play about 3.5 years ago. First one I did with my mom. After that, I went on my own. I was a 20-something-year-old playing with people double my age, and I felt within 2 weeks like I was one of them, right? And that helped me grow a lot as a person as well, right? And if you had told me 3.5 years ago I would be running a pickleball facility, I would have never believed you in a million years. So the fact that I am here now, it's a testament just the ability of the sport to bring people in, which is why we're all here.
So Sue, what do you find is your favorite part about pickleball and being here?
You know what? As I'm listening to Evan and Debbie talk about it, I could talk all day long about the different things that I love about pickleball. The people that you meet, the friends, the competitiveness, a little bit of exercise that you get. I can't speak enough about it.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Just from the social aspect to the game itself. But
You and I both agree about
Yeah.
the social part of pickleball. How great is that? How much fun is it? Woman came in and asked me, "Are you Frank Malone?" Because I see you on social media all the time.
people
You got that right before we started.
Yeah.
The fan literally right before we started. They're like, "Wait, are you Frank?"
So here's a segment that Sue and I like to talk about, and that is the rants that we've seen and heard on the court. So Deb, you have to give us a rant that you've seen or heard in your club recently. You're like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it."
I can't believe that someone just did this or someone just said that or
Why are they doing this? And the same thing with you, Evan. You have to give us your most recent rant where you're like, "Oh my gosh." Go ahead, Deb. You go first.
We do hear a lot of cursing.
of yours about
Yeah.
We have one of our wonderful members who's here. She's an 84-year-old woman, and she loves to talk, and she'll throw some curse words in there, and it's pretty entertaining when she gets going. Whether it's usually it's herself. Like she'll miss a shot, and you'll just hear her go like bleep, right? As she fake tosses her paddle onto the ground in frustration. So like I like the emotion, like you said, Sue, like the competitiveness of it. Like I love seeing people do get emotional. Yeah, sometimes you want them to be more positive on it, right? Because we all want to be more positive people.
Okay, so Evan, what's your most recent rant on the court that you said, "Oh my God, I can't believe that's happening or this happening or they did this"?
Oh, I have a great one actually from like 2 hours ago. So we have some pop-up open plays. So they are $10 open plays for 2 hours, right? Which is a wonderful deal, right? If anyone who's listening, right, if you want to play $10 for 2 hours, have good competition, good people, you should be here. So we had one of those, and originally it was booked for 4 courts, but we had a 5th court open, so some of the people trickled onto the 5th court, which is totally fine. We're more than welcome for that. After an hour, the people who were on one of those courts came onto the court. And, I told them, I'm like, hey, we got a group that's here. And one person kind of went, she's like, I can't believe you have 21 people here for 4 courts. I'm gonna have to sit so much. Meanwhile, I don't think I ever saw her sitting. And I'm also like, you got to play an hour straight, right, without any sitting because there was one sub. So I'm just like, you can't, as much as you want to please them all, sometimes you can't.
Sue, what's your rant recently?
My rant recently is I'm just gonna have to say that one of the facilities that I've been to had buckets of catching the water, the dirty water that's falling.
Yikes.
There were white rags, towels absorbing some mold and whatnot in the back of the court, and they are still there 5 weeks later. They are still, someone like took them and hung them up on an old pipe. But so that would have to be my little rant. But before I hand it over to Frank, I just want to thank you guys so much for joining our podcast. You made it fun.
Thank
You
you.
gave us great information. I'm so glad we got to introduce your facility to all of our listeners.
So I'm going to give you my rant. I have an indoor rant and an outdoor rant. My indoor rant is when people are chatting like crazy when you're ready to start to play the game. And they're both on the other side just talking and talking. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to play. They look at you and then they look away and they still keep chatting. I'm like, you really want to come here to play? That's my indoor rant. My outdoor rant is when you stack your paddles. We have 2 paddles that are stacked. There's maybe 1 or 2 open courts, but people are saying, well, if you don't get 4 people, we're just going to stay on until 2 more people show up. Really, that's incorrect the way you do that. 2 people should get off their court. They should rotate in and out, not just 2 people keep waiting because all 4 courts have 4 people playing. And I'm like, dude, you can't do that. That's unfair. It only takes 1 person, and this happened, that said, no, I'm leaving the court because it's not fair for those 2 people to wait. But the guy said, oh, we got a challenge going. You want to play the next court. They can't do it like that. Doesn't work. So that's my second rant. Now, I just want to tell you guys did a great job. I'm so excited that we were going to be here. We did a great job. Deb, great. Evan, great. Sue, of course, is a great person to have as a co-host.
Oh, we
And
love Sue.
pickleball is clearly more than a game. You know that. It's a lifestyle. It's a community builder. It's great for, people opening a business. But there's one thing that's really important about pickleball, and it's the people business that we're in. Bringing people together, making sure they have a great time and having fun. And my understanding is you do a great job doing it here.
Great job here.
Here, which is amazing. So, guys, thank you very much. Remember,
Thank
it's
you.
on YouTube, and the YouTube address is at Frank Murillo 5421. Make sure you tune in to make sure you can see exactly and hear what they said about pickleball. Great seeing you all. And my website is www.longislandpickleballpros.com. I do clinics, leagues, gift certificates for Mother's Day. Don't forget Mother's Day. Treat your mom right. So what kind of specials do you have for Mother's Day?
We have a Mother's Day mini tournament, actually. So Sunday morning, we have a 2-hour mini tournament. So mothers, sign up with your child, son, daughter, doesn't really matter. And you will play 2 hours of competitive tournament games. So it'll be 4 round robin games, plus a little bit of a playoffs. Then you can go and have brunch, right? You'll build up a little appetite.
Mimosas and muffins.
There you go. So you can have both at once. 2 for 1
So,
special.
okay. Happy Mother's Day, Sue.
Thank you. Happy
Guys,
Mother's Day, ladies.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so
It's a
much.
pleasure. Had a great time. Take care.
Thank you.